very excited, mostly excited to see these teams split up in the beginning here. I just know it's going to happen from Random Gaming. We do have PogChamp's Lucario heading to that top lane here, and their Cinderace into that central area. And there we have it on the other side of the map from Random Gaming, splitting up those buffs.
Yeah, this is a very interesting strategy. So Eevee is one of the Pokemon in this game that hits its first power spike at level 4. So by giving it one of those buffs, not only does the clear happen faster in the center for Random Gaming, but this Eevee is going to get to come to the bottom path as that Sylveon, able to apply more pressure more quickly.
And we can see Greedent in this bottom lane for Random Gaming. Sylveon actually making it back here. This could be a bad situation for PogChamp right now. That Hyper Voice just does so much damage. And Bulbasaur goes down in the bottom lane. Our first KO, a big pickup for Random Gaming.
Yeah, and we see exactly what Random Gaming wanted to have happen there with that Sylveon pushing in at that level 4, able to pick up that first very valuable KO, securing even more experience for Random Gaming.
We are watching one of the meanest Pokemon in the game, Greedent, right now. He's almost un-KOable, but PogChamp says there's no way we're letting you get away with what you did to us there. And the 850 Vespiquen Combies are spawning in the top and bottom paths right here. Big pickups, it looks like, for PogChamp in that top path.
Yeah, PogChamp's Lucario hitting that very critical level 5 power spike where it gets that extreme speed upgrade, allowing it to clear through those bees faster than the level 4 Lucario can for Random Gaming, securing more of those last hits and valuable experience.
Yeah, wow. I mean, looking at this Sylveon here, one of my absolute favorite Pokemon to play, and I'm just so happy to see it in a competitive game because I really don't think we see enough Sylveon. But the damage from that Sylveon paired with Wiggly putting people to sleep, it is just an amazing combination in that bottom lane.
One of the rotations here we see that's really interesting for Random Gaming is that the Greedent started in the bottom path, but has since rotated up to the top, knowing that it's going to be easier for it to get those valuable goals scored in the top path, powering up that attack weight item we saw on the loading screen, which is going to allow it to deal more and more damage as the game goes on based on how many dunks it gets in.
Oh, and look at this. They are chasing the Sylveon down here, but the sleep from Wiggly able to save it just for a moment. Are they able to take Wiggly down now? PogChamp, they have to punish Random Gaming for these moments here. It feels like Random Gaming is being very, very frustrating for PogChamp to deal with, but PogChamp is picking up a lot of those big KOs.
Yeah, really big swings here in both paths for PogChamp. Random Gaming put 3 people into the top, and PogChamp very quickly pushed them off, securing a knockout, as well as getting 2 knockouts in the bottom path, leading into these 720Bs. Having your characters knocked out before this valuable contested experience comes up puts you further and further behind.
Now we're just 10 seconds away from the first big objective of the match, that Dreadnought. I mean, this is a huge part of the game, and a lot of people think a lot of the match is decided by who's able to get this first Dreadnought here. Every member of both teams rotating down to this bottom path to fight on this beach for this big old turtle.
We see Charizard coming in here at level 9. Such a huge swing in this fight with that powerful Unite move, sweeping some up and putting out an incredible amount of damage, securing the last hit on that Dreadnought with the right side team on the back of that Greedent, which hits harder because of those valuable dunks and able to get in early.
Jeez, I mean, how do you deal with Wiggly putting you to sleep, a Hyper Voice from Sylveon, and a Charizard in the air? Random Gaming has been such a dominant force so far in this game, and you wouldn't know it from looking at the score because PogChamp is ahead on the scoreboard, but boy, oh boy, the level difference is starting to swing out of control for Random Gaming here. Level 10 on that Charizard. It's just a brutal character.
Yeah, in a lot of ways, the scoreboard at the top, it tells a story of the positional advantage that you have on the map based on which of your points you still have available. But the levels really tell us who's going to get ahead in these engages and then push their lead even more because they're getting more knockouts and collecting more experience from being ahead inside of these fights.
Ooh, and that Rotom able to be secured there by Lucario in that top lane, Redmon. It's interesting, we're seeing 2 different Lucarios here. Lucario, if you are unaware, is one of the most dominant characters in Pokemon Unite and has been dominant since the game's release. We actually see 2 different builds here. PogChamp going for that extreme speed Lucario, Random Gaming with that power-up punch. The power-up punch gives you a better secure of some of your objectives and KOs, but that extreme speed just deals so much crazy damage in these team battles.
We see Random Gaming getting pushed off of attempting to make a couple of caps here in the bottom before the second Dreadnought objective can come up. If you're able to break your opponent's outside goal before this second objective, it gives you a big positional advantage, but PogChamp's pushing off their advances very reasonably.
It feels like that Venusaur is the target of Sylveon. It has been all game, but now that Venusaur's level 9, it has its massive Unite move, and actually here it comes right there. A Unite from Venusaur. Unite's throwing down from multiple members of each team. Do we have anyone going down yet? It looks like Wigglytuff going down from Random Gaming. Oh, this is a huge fight. Charizard now throwing its Unite, taking down Venusaur from PogChamps. They are able to secure 3 KOs there.
There is still a Lucario running around in the bottom for PogChamp, hoping to steal a last hit here, but unable to pull it off. And Random Gaming secures yet another objective here and is going to get to break this outside goal, increasing their score lead.
So that looks like every objective so far has gone in the way of Random Gaming, which really does tell a big story. I mean, Random Gaming ahead by quite a bit right now. They have broken both top and bottom goals. The nice thing about that for PogChamp is it does give them this little area of sort of free experience with these Audinos in the top and bottom lane, but without question, they are quite a bit behind right now.
Yeah, just looking at the levels for Random Gaming here, the lowest level is 10. You know, PogChamp still has a level 9. They haven't acquired their first level 13 yet. It's very difficult to take engages when you're PogChamp if you're evenly matched at that engage with this level disadvantage.
And look at Mean Greedent here inside the enemy's central area, taking their buffs and able to actually deal with one of the strongest characters in the game, Cinderace, and it uses a Unite to take it down. Mean Greedent continues to be mean. Oh boy.
Just the squirreliest character in the game by far, able to get in and get out in places that no other character would. Its Unite move giving it an incredible amount of sustain on top of that Covet we see running away with collecting those berries. This Rotom providing an incredible amount of map pressure here in the top path as we see Random Gaming kind of closing in potentially on the bottom path here.
So right now we're about a minute out from obviously the most pivotal battle of the entire match, the big fight around that Zapdos pit. It either happens right there, just right before it at this Dreadnought that's going to spawn. Everyone is getting ready with their Unite moves. They're making sure that they're leveled up as much as possible. This fight can decide a lot of games, but right now Random Gaming is way ahead. It feels like they must be in such a comfortable position for this upcoming fight.
It isn't over until the Zapdos sings, Spraggles, but I agree with you completely. Random Gaming has 2 level 14s, 2 level 13s. There is a single level 13 for PogChamp. Our orange team is going to be incredibly far ahead going into this Zapdos fight at the 2-minute mark here.
Look at this positioning here, Jeff. You've got an ambush being set up in this central area right around this Zapdos pit right here. PogChamp is ready for this fight, and Random Gaming is sort of sneaking their way and setting up a counter ambush of themselves. Look at Sylveon just poking out of that bush saying, hi, we all know we're here. Who's going to start this thing?
Look at this here. Random Gaming has no incentive to take this engage. They know that they are ahead, and the onus is on PogChamp to take the fight. And here, they're forced to come out of their hiding spot and take the engage here against a team that is over-level them. And Cinderace goes down immediately. Lucario quickly follows, and Random Gaming is taking that advantage they had and pushing it to max here.
Oh no, PogChamp. This is devastating for PogChamp right now. Only able to take out this Wiggly. It looks like they got a Slowbro ult early on in that fight, but that Unite move was not able to stop Random Gaming as they take Zapdos. PogChamp is in a very difficult position right here. I wonder if they're able to come back from this.
Yeah, I would be incredibly surprised, Ronald. I think this game was kind of just a textbook example of how you start with that early advantage and you don't give back any of the lead that you had to begin with, and you just push it up and up and up. We have almost a 500-point differential between these teams, and there isn't even 500 points between all of the characters in PogChamp, even if they could walk over and score for free, which they can't with the defense that's currently there for Random Gaming.
Yeah, they would need to KO every single member of Random Gaming, which, by the way, 4 of them are down right now, but it looks like we might, yes, we did have the surrender from PogChamp right there. They recognized that there was no way they were coming back from that, but what a match. Random Gaming, absolutely dominant, and might I say, quite annoying. If I was playing against Random Gaming, I would be very frustrated, Jeff.
You know, I have to say, Spraggles, this first match casting is everything I could have wanted from this championship series. It's really highlighted to me how much
Try to win this thing.
All right, let's get on into the action here. I assume Yoshi with the Dragonite is going to be heading into the central area. Yep, and it looks like we have the same starts from both teams here with the Charizard and the Eevee splitting the Pokemon in the center, and then 3 on the bottom for PogChamp.
Wow, I mean, I love them splitting these buffs in the center area, and I am stressing out thinking about how my solo queue games are going to go after we see Random Gaming absolutely devastate with this strategy. I think everyone's going to be fighting over my central area Pokemon, Jeff.
Well, and I think this really shows that perhaps splitting the advantage that that valuable wild Pokemon in the center provide could perhaps be good for splitting up how you apply pressure, both top path and bottom path to start.
One thing that, I mean, you obviously have to love about this play is a level 4 Sylveon runs into that bottom path super early with that hyper voice and just deals out a ton of damage. So it's a really interesting play, and they are taking advantage of what you mentioned before, that massive Sylveon power spike at level 4.
Yeah, and we see Random Gaming kind of pushing that early advantage they had. They secured a knockout on the Bulbasaur, allowing them to kind of dive onto that point and all get their scores in faster with the entire team being there. Top path going really well for PogChamps here, securing a knockout in most of that farm.
And we can see here that little Charmander is still only a level 4. It needs to get another hit on a wild Pokemon, a last hit, so it can evolve here. The difference when they split that experience in that central area is we are not having a Charmeleon come out of the center for that ambush in the top path.
I love this here from PogChamps. They realize that a lone level 4 Charizard is completely useless when it comes to contesting last hits on wild Pokemon, and the invade from this Lucario is not something you see very often, but it has been very effective here.
Yeah, it's just been incredible, and they are able to take it down, but you do have to think, how much effort did they need to put into getting rid of just that one Pokemon? They had to let Wiggly leave its bottom path and head into the central area, so I think an incredible move there from PogChamp. I love to see that.
Yeah, definitely. You know, it's not free to bring 2 people into your center path like they did with the Wiggly there. We saw Sylveon in the bottom path here really pay the price, getting knocked out for the fact that it was left solo while Wigglytuff supported Charizard.
And we saw there, that little picture-in-picture showed us that Greedent was inside the enemy central area. Once again, when you play Greedent correctly, it almost looks like you're lost, Jeff. You're making your way across the map. You're taking everything that is not yours, not your team, but actually able to take a huge KO on that Lucario from PogChamp. Oh, mean Greedent, why are you so mean? Why won't you return my calls?
Look at the levels for Random Gaming going into these first objectives. We have a level 8 Greedent, we have 2 level 7s, and we have no level 8s for PogChamp here.
Yeah, taking this central area wild Pokemon, this Greedent has essentially stopped the Dragonite from evolving to Dragonite. It's still Dragonair right now, which is not at all what PogChamp wants for this first Dreadnought fight. It looks like they are fighting down there on that beach. Oh, taken by Sylveon and Random Gaming. The annoyance continues.
And again, just talking about the value that the invade from a character like Greedent creates here. You know, the Greedent ultimately was knocked out by the Lucario, but it bought an incredible amount of time, keeping Lucario away from this very valuable objective, which allowed the rest of Random Gaming's team to secure it quite easily.
Oh, wow, and a surprising Unite from Charizard, but I think Charizard said, look, I've got my Unite, it comes back fast, and I'm very, very mean. I want to use it right now. And the timing of when players use their Unite moves is very interesting. You have a character like Pikachu who gets to Unite very, very often. You have a character like Wigglytuff, not so much, who has to save it for a specific team fight. And Charizard is one of those that gets to use it often.
Yeah, one of the things I've noticed from observing a lot of really excellent Charizard and Pikachu players is those players are ripping that powerful Unite move as frequently as they can because they know it swings these battles so incredibly hard in their favor that getting to do that multiple times over the course of a match means it pushes the match more and more in their victory.
Wow, and look at that. Greedent staying alive. Staying alive in that top path, continuing to score against PogChamp up there. It's just one of the meanest Pokemon in the game, Jeff. It's so mean.
And looking again just at the levels, not only has Random Gaming secured a very solid early point lead, but they have a level 11, they have a level 10, they have level 9s, and on the other side there is a single level 10 and then all level 8s for PogChamps. These team engages are very scary when you are under leveled.
And look, we have a big fight here in this bottom path. We also have a big fight in that top path with Greedent getting a double KO using its Unite against 2 members of PogChamp. And just as we were saying before, not only is it up there, not only is it scoring, it is wasting the time of multiple members of PogChamp. However, this Dragonite now really stepping into its own with that Hyper Beam, getting a double KO for PogChamp.
And there's that very powerful Charizard Unite, but not quite enough with that Buddy Barrier to keep it from getting knocked out against several members of PogChamp. And this is the way PogChamp can catch back up, even though they are down levels to start. By having more people present for these fights, they can get some critical knockouts and some of that catch-up experience.
This Dreadnought fight has been going on so long that multiple members of each team have been KO'd, went to the Pokemon Center, and come all the way back for this fight, and it is secured again by, you guessed it, Greedent.
Yeah, Gatlu's securing potential with their Belch in combination with the extra attack that they're getting from that attack weight item has been really impressive throughout the entirety of this best of 3 series.
So we're at about 4 minutes here on this match. Goals in the bottom lane still not broken for either team, and you actually do see this more and more. How is this green still around? It's unbelievable. You do see this more and more where the teams are keeping these goals up so they can fight in this bottom path and continue fighting over these Audinos and getting experience here. But at some point, these goals need to go down, and I think that's going to be happening very, very soon. It looks like PogChamp pushing in on this bottom path goal.
Not only did the Greedent escape 3 people in the bottom path, Spraggles, but then it wiggled into the central area for the PogChamp team and took some wild Pokemon there. Look at those 2 buffs on that Greedent. It is just getting away with everything it wants to get away with. Will this be where it finally goes down? There are several chases.
How many people do we need to throw to stop Greedent? Is there any way to stop this Pokemon? 1, 2, 3. Venusaur actually peeled off because they said, no, I think 3 Pokemon can take out 1 Greedent. And finally, they are able to shut down that Greedent.
And you know, again, just talking about the cost of the Greedent, even when it goes down, Rotom walked in here because several people moved off to chase the Greedent.
And now we're looking at the score here, 250 to 88. Random Gaming once again ahead in this match. They're ahead in levels and they're ahead in score. And I would say they're ahead in purely being very annoying. I would be so mad if I was dealing with Random Gaming here. They are incredibly good at what they do.
Yeah, we see that level advantage getting pushed even further. A 3rd level 13 entering the roster for Random Gaming, while PogChamps hasn't even assembled their 2nd level 13. And again, the points going into Zapdos do matter for who's going to take the aggressive posturing for that end game fight, but ultimately the levels are generally what decides who's going to be the victor there.
Yeah, we have 15 seconds now till this big fight at Zapdos. I'm not sure if we're going to keep this goal up or not. Greedent's teasing like he's going to take it out. We have Venusaur from PogChamp, only level 11. And as you know, Jeff, if Venusaur was level 13, it would be a menace in this fight. But right now, it is not at its full strength.
All right, this is a huge engage here. We traded a Pikachu Unite and then full flips in the center. Can Greedent secure another objective? It cannot. The Hyper Beam from Dragonite pulling it down. Can Random Gaming knock out enough of PogChamps to stop them from securing the lead here?
So far, able to take out 2 members of PogChamp right now, and now they are running across the map to counter score as we speak. PogChamp getting a big advantage from getting that Zapdos. However, is it enough? If members of Random Gaming are able to score here, they can still put the match in their favor, which is why being ahead early is so important.
Yeah, and this is something you see the really excellent teams do very consistently. They know when their bases are defenseless against that Zapdos debuff, it is fruitless to try and chase people down most of the time. They get whatever knockouts they can on the low health opponents, but then they move over to the other side of the map and just try and start capping themselves. And they've managed to keep their lead here despite losing that important objective at the end of the game.
Now, this match, unlike the last, is a lot closer. If they're able to get some points onto that Dragonite and it can fly into the enemy base using its Unite and score, we could see this match change. But of course, here comes Greedent. Yeah, they can always score from Random Gaming, running straight into the center of their base. Are they able to put these 50 points in? This would be huge. Yeah,
and I think this is quite potentially to do it. There's a good chance that, big caps on both sides, but still an 80-point lead for Random Gaming. There is no one else left on the left side of the map. If PogChamp can cap here, they might be able to take it back. Does not look like it, though. Very decisive team fight from Random Gaming.
Yeah, Random Gaming just able to clean this fight up. Greedent came back and they said, look, I can team fight too. I can do it all. I can team fight. I can score. I can be a single mom working 2 jobs. Greedent can do anything, Jeff. And what an incredible match from Random Gaming. They are going to be making their way into the losers finals. And wow, I am impressed with them.
Yeah, I think we really saw them execute that end game fantastically. In the face of losing the objective, they got the knockout that they could get, and then they pushed ahead and scored the extra points they needed to ensure their lead. And then expecting that second big push from PogChamps, they put Greedent over into enemy territory yet again, getting another 100 points on the board, giving themselves breathing room to get past a dunk or two from PogChamp.